What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. If you are new, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me. Alright guys, today I'm going to do my review of the Kershaw Heist. This is one of their new 2023 models that it utilizes their DuraLock, I think is what they call it. It's basically a crossbar lock or an axis lock. And I saw these come available online. I was like, man, I used to love me some Kershaws, man, but I don't own any other Kershaws now. This is the only one I own. And actually, I think I have an old fixed blade of theirs. But, you know, I saw that they were doing a crossbar lock. I was like, well, I really want to try that out. It is D2 steel, and my New Year's resolution was not to buy any D2 steel knives. But when I saw this, and there's 3 other crossbar locking knives by them, they're all D2. I was like, man, I just got to try one out. And I'm so glad I did. I didn't have high hopes, but it has really surprised me. I really like this knife. We'll give you some size comparisons and then talk a little bit about the knife. One of its direct competitors, I believe, that they're trying to compete with is the Benchmade Bug Out. It's a little bit longer than a Bug Out. Here's the Kaiser Drop Bear, another crossbar lock. So it's longer than both of those knives, quite a bit thinner than the Drop Bear. And just about the same thickness as a Bug Out. Well, that Bug Out has titanium scales on it, but about this, I think it'd be about even with a OEM Bug Out with OEM scales. Although this one has full liners, so it doesn't flex like a Bug Out will flex out of the box. Here is a Spyderco Para 3, and here's a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So kind of right in between those two knives as far as length goes. What else can we do here? Let's go ahead and do the Kaiser Genie. We'll do the Bastide Bellamy. Almost identical in length to the Genie. A little shorter than the Bellamy. Not by much though. Here is the Petrified Fish Beluga and the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. Again, kind of right in the middle of those two knives as far as length goes. Quite a bit thinner than both and much lighter weight than both. What else we got here? Let's go ahead and do the Finch Knives Halo. A little longer than Halo, but thickness-wise almost identical. The Kaiser Feist, and we'll do a couple more here. Got to do a Penguin. Here's a QSP Penguin, and here's the SOG Terminus XR, another crossbar locking knife. So a little longer than both those, quite a bit thinner than both of those also. The action on this knife out of the box was fantastic. One thing I need to point out about this one, so they made 4 models with the DuraLock. 3 of the models have caged ceramic ball bearings, and this model is the only one that's on washers, so keep that in mind. But out of the box, the washer action was buttery smooth, glassy smooth. It's just gotten smoother the more I use it as those washers start to polish themselves from use. Sharpened it once, and it sharpens just like D2. Not too hard to sharpen, holds the edge really well, and you know, you will have to worry about corrosion obviously with D2, so you'll want to take care of it and oil it. Deep carry pocket clip that is mounted on top of the scale, but the screws are flush mounted, and it is reversible. You got a little landing zone there where you mount it. So it is left hand, right hand tip up carry. Nice drop point blade there. Nice wedge across the top. I think it's a good looking knife too. The pocket clip works very well. You got full liners, so it's not nearly as flexible as an OEM Bug Out, but it does weigh a little more at 2.8 ounces compared to the Bug Out's like 1.9 ounces, I believe. And the overall length on this knife, 7.6 inches. Blade length 3.2 inches. Blade thickness is the same as a Bug Out at 90 thousandths. And the weight's 2.8 ounces. Handle thickness is 0.46 inches. FRN or GRN scales here, which have texture on them, as you can see there, and it gives you good grip. It's not uncomfortable either. Sometimes when they do GRN scales with a lot of texture and it's not very comfortable. These are actually very comfortable. The ergos on this knife are really good. 4-finger grip there, medium-sized hand. I can choke up here a little bit. I'd be fine doing that for push cuts, but that's all I would do it. I wish it had a little jimping up here. It's not a big deal, but I think it would benefit from a little jimping out there on the spine of the blade. Give you a little more traction right there, but you know, it's not a deal breaker for me. And this knife is really dirty inside. I've been using this at work, and I need to take it apart and clean it out. Plus I want to take it apart anyway and do a disassembly and see how they did their lock bar or their crossbar lock. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. There will be a disassembly coming of this knife in the near future. And yeah, I'm excited about this one. I know $50 is a lot for a D2 knife. I get that, but man, it's good. It really is good. And I'm impressed with this one. And I think Kershaw is going in the right direction. I'm really looking forward to what they do next. I hope they do some more models with this locking system and stay away from some of those assisted things they do. And I think they'd be very successful. Now, if they were to make this knife in the USA and use this locking system and maybe throw 14C on this knife and sell it for $100, $125, they would have a hit on their hands. They would sell them faster than they can make them, in my opinion. So hopefully, because they do make knives in the USA that are around that $100 range, they could start producing this here with 14C. Man, they'd have a mega hit on their hands. They really would, because it would give the bug out some serious competition, especially at that price with those materials. Yeah, it would be a very good thing. But as it is, this knife for $50, I will link it in the description. Use my code BEDC10 for 10% off, and you can pick this knife up for like $50. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one.